A new engine arrived at the docks. All the engines arrived to see him. He had 6 small wheels, a short stubby funnel, and a short stubby dome. His name was Thomas. "Welcome, Thomas," says the Topham Hatt. "You are a new engine for the railway." "Yes, sir. Now, I would like you to shut the yard and pull trains around the railway." "All right," said Thomas. "Now, if all of you, I would like you all to assist Thomas whenever he's needed." "Yes, sir," they all said. That night, all the engines were at the sheds. "So, Thomas, how do you like our railway?" said Red Diesel. "Looks pretty good to me," said Thomas. "That's great," said Blue Tank. "Now then," said Thomas, "any strange events on this railway?" "Only if you mean the untold story of Timothy," said Red Diesel. "Red Diesel, I told you not to mention that," said Neil. "What untold story?" asked Thomas. "Oh, now you've done it," said Neil. "Very well, I'll tell you the story." And this was the story Neil told. Timothy was a silver engine who worked on the railway. He was the Northwestern Railway's number 0 at the time. When the railway first opened, he was the first engine on the railway, followed by me, Clive, Roger, and then Liam arrived. Then one day, the manager wanted to scrap him, just to save money. He said it was cheaper to scrap him. Timothy was crossed by that. He came up with a plan. One night, he was taking a passenger train, and after he dropped off the passengers and were taking the empty coaches back to the yard, it happened. No one knows exactly what happened, and the driver was yelling out to him, telling him to stop, but he didn't. And when it came to a cliff, and a viaduct was going to be built, the driver and fireman kept telling him to stop, but it was no good, and he went right over. He was recovered the next morning, and he did not look like the number 0 at all. He was sent to the scrapyard, as well as the coaches. Clive took his remains to be scrapped. The manager knew why he did that. Soon years after, he retired, and Mr. Topham Hatt was in charge. And every year on the day of the accident, his ghost appears, plunging into the gap, shrieking like a lost soul. "Pah," said Thomas. "That's a make-believe story." "It's not make-believe, Thomas," said Neil. Thomas rolled his eyes and went to sleep, and no more was said about Timothy for the rest of the night. The post train is a train which departs from the docks, mail, parcels, and all in the mail vans. It comes from big ships, it gets brought to the docks, and it gets loaded. This particular evening, Thomas was the one to deliver it. He backed down onto the mail wagons and waited for them to be loaded. Neil, meanwhile, was on the other line, pulling passengers. "It's that night, Thomas," he said. "Look out for Timothy tonight." "Oh, stop it, Neil," Thomas wheezed. "You and I both know ghosts don't exist." Just then, the guard blew his whistle, and Thomas was ready. "Ghost train indeed," Thomas muttered to himself as he pulled out of the harbor. As he puffed along, the story of Timothy played on his mind, but he refused to believe something like that would happen. As Thomas crossed the viaduct, he and his crew heard puffing sounds that weren't their own. Thomas's driver looked back and saw nothing on their line. "I don't understand," he said. "Thomas is the only engine on the line tonight." Then, out of the darkness, came a silver engine. The green tank engine was shocked at what he saw. A silver engine puffing as hard as he could with the number 0 on his side tanks.
Behind it was a train of coaches pointing shadowy shapes at people. Thomas knew who this was. As the engine neared the viaduct, it disappeared out of thin air. Thomas was shocked at what he saw. He raced across the viaduct as fast as he could. When Thomas got back to the sheds, all the other engines were asleep. Poor Thomas was shocked and scared at what he saw. He looked around to make sure no ghost, Timothy or not, was nowhere to be seen before uneasily going to sleep.
Next day, Thomas kept to himself and never told the other engines what he had seen. As much as he tried to convince himself there was the moonlight playing tricks on him, he couldn't deny he had an encounter with Timothy's ghost. As Neil passed with some box vans, he whispered in a quiet voice to Thomas, "Don't say I didn't warn you."